Welcome back, flower people. Today I'm going to do a video that's going to compile all my videos together. So you just need one. We're going to set them, forget them. Let's get started. Some things that are not in the kit I want you to have ready. What's nice, you can pause me. So we want a roll of paper towels, we want some scissors, and we want some cookie sheets. And I actually got these cookie sheets at the Dollar Tree for $1 a piece. So you might want to get 5 or 6 because if you're doing a big bouquet or you're doing a wedding bouquet or a funeral arrangement, you're going to want to stack them up and they'll be perfect and they'll be fine and they're going to have the outcomes that you're looking for. So next thing, let's look at what's in the kit. So we have our preserving boards. There's 4. You can use these probably hundreds of times. This kit's going to last you a lifetime probably. Well, that's what I'm hoping. So our goal is 1 kit per household. Also, you have 12 quick dry papers, and what I like to do is section them into 3, 3, 3, 3, so that when I'm working with them, I like 3 on the bottom, 3 on the top. It just makes you more efficient, more organized. And also our cord that cinches up our preserving boards. And the first thing I tell people when you get them out of your kit is tie a knot in the top, right here. So that's how you're going to cinch it up, and we'll talk about that as we're going through the process. And also I have these tweezers. You don't want to use your fingers, and these are like extension of your fingers. So if you use your hands, you've got oil in them and it's going to mess up, all the work that you've done. So we'll talk about that as well. So just make it easy. I just want to make sure you know all the components. And lastly, we have this preserving mist. So once your flowers are preserved and completely dried, you want to preserve them with this mist on the outside and the inside, or back and forth, both sides of the flower. And then we'll have a diffuser, which is right here. And we'll talk about that at the end when we get ready for that. Okay, so let's get started. Today we're going to work on 3 flower types. You have your rose, which is your multi-layer. You have your daisy, which is petal type. You don't have a lot of those with daisies and sunflowers, and also your single petal type, like your lilies, your hydrangeas. Almost all your wildflowers are going to be like this. Not that it's any different, it's just that the more layers, the more times in the microwave. That's the only thing that's different. Okay, the first flower I'm going to show you is the daisy, which is our petal type. I'm going to show you how to cinch it up, how to put it in the microwave, do the one and done. So here's my daisies. You want to clip it off right at the top of the head of the flower. You don't need that stem on there. And so we're always going to place our flowers head down first. So I got my preserving boards, my 3 quick dry papers, 3 more on the top. And what I like to do is a tip. When you have in your petal type, your daisy, because the head's so big, I like to take my finger and go around the head like that, just so it gets nice and flat and keeps your petals flat. So we are going to line up our boards. They're lined up, and you can see through them. So we're going to take our knot that is at the end of your cord. And so what I like to do, and I keep doing this every single time, is I put it up against me like that. And then look at your knot, put it in your slit like this. Okay, you're going to cinch it tight. You're going to pinch it off at each corner. This way, horizontal, and then vertical. And then you're going to end up with some cord left over, and to find any slit is fine. You just don't want it to unravel while it's in the microwave. So it's going to be 15 seconds. Again, we're going to do the same thing, the same way every single time. It's just routine. It doesn't matter if it's multi-layer, it's petal type, or it's a single petal. It's just wrap and zap, 15 seconds. Just depends on how much moisture, how long it's going to take. Okay, so 15 seconds. We'll do this the same way every time. We're going to take it out, unwrap your cord. I like to stay organized and know where everything's at so I can be quick and efficient. Okay, so we put our boards down, flip them over. So we're going to do sneak peek, see if anything's sticking. Nothing's sticking there. See if it's sticking on this side, and it's not. So the next thing we want to do is transfer it to our cookie sheet. Stick it a little bit. Take your tweezers. See, that's all you got to do. Super easy. Now we're going to, and I like it on my paper towels where it's head up. So we're going to set it aside on our cookie sheet. And the next thing we're going to do, we're going to look at lily. These look so nice. They present so nicely in your albums or your your floating frames, but I want to show real quickly what I do with them, because the inside is where it's really pretty. They've got the variegated colors. So if you can see, I lay it down and I just take it to the side like this. Even if you smash it down, it doesn't matter, because once they're in the microwave, they're going to still stay connected. Okay. See? You can see that. Just put your finger on it. Okay, so I like to keep my right hand holding the flour down until I get my other 3 quick dry papers. And what I like to do every single time is I like to line them up and then go over like this, and then you're kind of releasing your hand so that you're still not touching them, and they're gonna stay nice and neat in the same spot. Okay, what are we doing now? We're gonna, same thing, we're gonna wrap and zap just like we did the first one. So what are you gonna do? Here's the knot. So we wrap it and squeeze the bottom, pinch the top, do it again. So we're going to go horizontally and vertically, and then we're going to pinch the sides. Okay, then what do? We look for the closest slit so you can tie it off. There you go, 15 more seconds in the microwave. Okay, so here we go. Same thing, we're going to wrap it, and we are going to set the cord aside. So to be organized and do the same thing the same way, we're gonna look at it, flip it over. So I just did a lily, and they're a little more fragile. They're more like your hydrangeas, your wildflowers, single petal. So we wanna make sure they're not sticking. So let's do a sneak peek. Looks amazing. Let's go the other way. Flip it over, and let's see what it looks like on the side. So we have a little, it's sticking just a little bit. What I like to do is just take my tweezers, get it unstuck. That's simple. You know, as long as you're working on it and you just take one petal off, it usually doesn't stick. So what do we want to do? We want to transfer it to our cookie sheet. So flip it on top and then flip it over. Do the same thing every time. So we've done the petal type, we've done a daisy, we've done the lily, and now we're going to work on the rose. And what I like about the rose, it's going to be most common in all your bouquets, whether it's wedding, funeral, all occasion, and there's a couple ways I like to present them, but this is what you need to do. For a rose, it needs to be bloomed. See, these are the same roses from the same bouquet, but this one, because it wasn't bloomed and I want to preserve it, I put it in hot water for about 2 hours and it bloomed out. So you can see, that's the difference. Okay, so what you want to do with the rose is you want to cut it to the top, right where you start having that bell, like right to the top. You don't want to get into past that, because that's what holds the petals together. And if you don't keep it like that, then all the petals are going to come apart. Okay, let's go back to, and just another thing, while you're doing your flowers, I like to do like one at a time and figure out, because they need to cool. When they're out of the microwave, they need to evaporate. So do not put them back in the microwave until they're completely cool and you feel like the quick dry papers have dried out. So what I do when I take them out is I separate my quick dry papers, lay them out, because they'll dry a lot quicker. Okay, so let's look at this, and it's not as hard as you think, but it's not hard at all actually. So what we want to do is get to the center of the rose. So you might have to take your finger and just keep unlayering the petals. Okay, and you want something like this, right? You see the middle. So all you do is put down face down, like that. Okay, now we got to put the other quick dry papers on top, and like I said, every single time, I'm right-handed, so if you're left-handed, obviously it's opposite. So you want to put your quick dry papers down, line them up, and go over the top so you don't mess up your flower. Okay, here we go. This is a pretty big flower. I think it's a long stem. Okay, so what do we do now? We line up our preserving board. So this is where I really use, so because they're so thick, the multi-layers like your chrysanthemums, your carnations, your spider mums, which are very popular in funeral arrangements, are ginormous. They're large. And so is your long stem roses and most of the roses. So see how bulky it is? And within the first 30 seconds in the microwave, they will decrease by 50%. So what I do is I pick it up like this, because it's a beast. And I put it up against my stomach like that so I can have traction with my cord. So I had put it in the knot. Okay, so we're going down, which is close to my stomach. again, just for stability. Go to the top. Once you get that first one, it's fine. And then we're going to the side. Okay, keep pinching it off like that. Pinch it up, and then we're gonna go back up, and what we're gonna do is find the closest slit. There we go. So it's 15 seconds in the microwave. Okay, so this is the first time for our multi-layer flour in the microwave. And at the end, I'm gonna do another tip and trick so you can dry it out a little bit faster. But this is what you're gonna get. So let's do a sneak peek, right? Look at that. Let's flip it over. It's not sticking, but look what you got. Guys, this is amazing. Roses, they're not that they're hard, but you got to go through the layers and you want to open them up, and that's why you want them bloomed. You can take a one that's still a bud and open it up. It's going to take a little bit longer, but you're going to have your best outcomes if you get it bloomed. Like I said, put it in hot water. So we're going to set this aside. We've got to put it on I like them face up, so let's flip it over. Here's my. Okay, I like them face up, so you just want to flip flop it until you get it on the right side up on your paper towel. So we're gonna set those aside. This is what we got going on right now, guys. We have our lily, our petal type, which is the daisy, and then our multi-layer type, which is a rose, and they're gonna turn out beautiful. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to share with you is some tips and tricks really quick. One of the popular flowers in weddings, and I've seen them in just regular arrangements, are your ranunculus. They are beautiful and they're so delicate. They don't like the microwave at all. Now, you can put them in the microwave, but it's gonna turn into a button. And so you see how delicate it is, and you wanna have that 3D look? The microwave is not its friend. And it's the only one I found that I've worked with hundreds of flowers that just don't like the microwave. So the alternative, which I found, which happens pretty quickly, is to just let them set out. And look at that, they're beautiful. They're completely dried on their own. I don't have anything like that stays its color and looks so amazing. And that's just set out with on the counter. What's nice about this, I've used these in this method, letting set on their own, in dozens of weddings, and I put them in floating frames. And what happens, they just smash down perfectly and they keep that 3D look. So I hope that shows you. Maybe you could zoom in. Okay, so that's a little tip and trick because it is a popular flower, and I don't want somebody to have one of those beautiful flowers. It's probably their favorite one, and the kit doesn't work for it. So we want to be heads up and try to figure out those problems in the beginning. Another thing, there is a flower called stock, and they are in almost all your funeral arrangements. They're almost always in some weddings I've done. I've had stock in it. And just your everyday arrangement. So it's very popular, it's very beautiful. But the stalk is so thick, it has so much moisture in it. If you put it right in the microwave, it's just it just doesn't come out nice. It just flattens out the flowers, and you don't have that 3D look. So what I learned to do is I bunch them together, and these have been hanging upside down for 2 days. And they may be crinkly, and you might think that they're past their life cycle, but they're not. So I'll show you real quickly what that looks like. Okay, so let's do a purple one. So what happens when you hang it upside down for a couple days, that's been at least 2 days, is the stalk shrinks, and the water supply stops going to the bloom, which is really what you want. But the stalk has so much water in it, and I used to try to do them and make it work, and it just didn't turn out nice. They didn't look good in my albums, and for a chance, I figured this out. So let's look at this. We have our 3 quick dry papers on the bottom. Okay, what I like to do with these, I like to curve them a little bit. You can see that, because they present so nicely, and they're so pretty in your albums or your floating frames. Let's turn it. And again, you're gonna think it's dried out and past its life cycle, but it's not. Okay, so what are we doing? So I just wanna show you this quickly, because I'm gonna do this all in one video and you guys don't have to watch them all. Okay, so what are we gonna do? Same thing, look how I put it up against my stomach. I just found it stabilizes, and it just, honestly, it's a great little tip. It makes it easy. If you're free floating out here with it, you're kind of like doing this, so it just steadies it. And so Only reason I figured these things out is just because it was a problem. And I solved the problem by just keeping it close to me and stabilizing it. So we're going up, we're going twice again, pinching the sides like we talked about, and finding your tie off. Okay. So it's nice when you do have one that has 30 seconds and you get down to 15 seconds, there's only 15 seconds left. So that's a nice one. But I want to share these tips and tricks because I don't want you to get frustrated and aggravated. There's some fussy flowers out there, and I'm going to address that today. So let's see what it looks like. And again, it's been drying for 2 days, so it's real crispy and crinkly, and you would think the life cycle, it's past it and we've ruined it. That's not true. I don't know why, but they turn out amazing. So look at this. So what happens is the moisture from the stalk is still in there, and that's what hydrates the petals once they feel like they're crispy and they're not going to preserve well, but they do. Look at this. So to me, if you can pick it up and it's limber, it's not preserved. Until you can pick it up with your tweezers and it doesn't bend and you feel like it's light and crispy and airy, then it's done. So, but anyway, that's 2 days. I thought most people would think that they were done, but they're not. So you would continue doing this 15 seconds or set them and forget them, the same thing, which we can go ahead and put that on or set them and forget them. Let's see, okay. And like I said, I like to be heads up. So I'm flipping it back over again. But when this dries, it just looks so amazing in your albums or your floating frames. So we're gonna set that aside like our other ones. This is what we got over here, okay? So this is what we got. One more tip, let's talk about greenery. Greenery, I just got this out. Greenery looks amazing, but there's very little moisture in it, so you don't wanna keep it in the microwave. 15 seconds once, that's it. And once you have it in the microwave, I'm not going to zap it because you know what I'm talking about. You want to place it, like however you place it is the way it's going to stay, like this. So 15 seconds in the microwave, but this is what you're going to get at the end. See how it's nice and flat, which is what you want. So this is all your greenery. You have your boxwood. You can make all kinds of ornaments or cards with boxwood, and also your fall leaves turn out beautiful. But what I like to do is I like to put it in between my, I don't have my other paper towel, but anyway, I like to put it between my paper towel and stack up my greenery and my leaves and set something on top of them, at least for 24 hours, just so they're nice and flat. You don't have to, but if you keep it in the microwave, they're gonna turn dark and you don't want that. So that's what I found is the best, and you have your best outcomes if it's just 15 seconds and then stack them up and put something heavy on them for a day. So we're done with that. The last thing I want to share with you is the multi-layer flower, how to get them to preserve and dry quicker, because they could take a week, even if you have them on there 2 times. Your other flowers are going to dry way quicker. So if you get them in your roses still really moist, let's look at that and look what that looks like. I'm going to show you a tip and trick. Okay, so this is only once, but I would do it with this tip. I would do it 3 times in the microwave for 15 seconds. Let it evaporate, set it to the side, and let it cool. And like I said, you don't want to put any flowers in the microwave that are still warm, because it's just going to scorch it. It has to go through the process of evaporation and cooling down. Okay, so let's look at this. This is a trick I found out. I don't know how I figured it out. So we want our 3 quick dry papers on the bottom and our 3 on the top. Here we go. I always like to have it, well, it should be face down, but here we go. They're easier to maneuver once you've had the microwave 1 time. This is my tip and my trick. So we don't put a top layer on this, and we don't cinch it up, because what we want to do is get into the middle where most of the moisture and the layers are, because they'll take forever to dry. And I don't know how to figure this out, but you do it 3 times, 15 seconds on your roses, your chrysanthemums, your carnations, any of your multi-layer flowers. We're going to put it in the microwave for 15 seconds. What's going to happen is it's going to puff up. It's going to look more 3D, and it just looks amazing. I love this look better than completely flat anyway. And I'll show you what our outcomes look like so you guys can set that expectation. Okay, so this is what I did. Let's look at the flower. And flip it over, sneak peek. Flip it over again. Again, we don't want to touch it. Okay, look, it's already starting to puff up. So again, 3 times at 15 seconds, cinched up with the 2 boards. Then once it's cooled down, then you can keep doing it the same way. Put the preserving board, have your flour with 3 quick dry papers, have it on top, and just put in there 15 seconds until it's done. It'll probably only take like 4 times, maybe even not that much. But it'll save you days and days. And also I like the look because it puffs up a little bit. This is, I'll show you real quickly. This is what your expectation is going to be. If you can see that. And here is our lily. And here is our daisy. So I want to put them out first. Okay, lastly, we want to keep these for a lifetime. So that's why I created the preserving mist. We're going to take this rose and we're going to spray on top of it. Okay. Then I have a diffuser. You can buy it on Amazon or on my website. So the reason for the diffuser is when I was trying to dry the mist after they was already preserved, the regular blow dryer just blew all the petals over and just messed up all the work I'd done. So I figured out the diffuser is the best way to go. And so you just put it on top like that. And then you spray it on the back side, both sides. For time's sake, I'm not going to keep working on it, but there's a binary effect between the mist and the heat into the petal, and that's what we want. And that way you're going to have these flowers last you for a lifetime. This is what we've worked on so far. Set them, forget them, have them on our cookie sheet. This is where you put a full paper towel on top so you can cover them like that. You have your other cookie sheet. Again, you can stack these up as many as you want. We have another cookie sheet on top. Okay, to keep them nice and flat is at the end, if I have 4 or 5 stacked up, I put like a crock bowl or something heavy on it and just set it aside, and when you're ready for them, they're going to be ready for you. So that's just another little tip, and that's set them, forget them. And again, if you want to continue to dry them at the same time, which lots of people do, just 15 seconds until they're preserved. So that's my last trick. So that's all I have for today. I hope this helps. I just wanted to put it all in one so you won't have to look at another video, and you can always get a hold of me. You can go to my website, I have a helpline, you can contact me, and also you can follow us on Instagram. It's Floral Preservation Co. So anyway, so until next time, flower people, see ya.